श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम्। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं गुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विजये भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। व्यासम् अष्टनप्तारं शक्तेः पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे जगदातं तपोनिधिं नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं। नारायणपुरो व्यक्तादण्डमव्यक्तसंभवमण्डस्यान्तस्तु मे लोकाः सप्तद्वीपा च मेदिनी पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणे स्वयं व्यासेन कृतितां पुराणमुनिनां मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीमष्टादशाध्यायिनीं अम्ब त्वमनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते बुभेद्वेषिणीं श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। अवतीर्णश्च कालट्यां केदारेन्दरतश्चेह चतुष्पीठप्रतिष्ठाता यदाच्यङ्करो गुरुः। So previously we were looking at in this Jnana-Karma-Sanyasa yoga, we were looking at 7th and 8th shlokas where Bhagavan was saying his divine incarnations, how why he comes, takes birth, and when he takes his birth, or what form he takes birth, right? So controlling his own prakriti, his maya, through his maya, whenever there is dharma decrease, glani harm, and trouble with dharma, and yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhidhanam dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. So at that time, to rescue that dharma and to protect and to support and increase that dharma, I will srijamyaham, I will create myself, incarnate. And why do I do that? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkradham dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So to protect those sadhus and then destroy those evil doers, dharma samsthapanarth, to re-establish the dharma, sambhavami yuge yuge. I will take birth again in every yuga. I will take birth. So that was the 7th and 8th shloka. We'll look at the 9th shloka today, where Bhagavan says, Janma karma chame divyam evam yo vetti tatvatah tyaktva dehim punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. So he who thus knows truly the divine birth and actions of mine does not get rebirth after casting off this body. He attains me, O Arjuna. Like this, Bhagavan says, Janma means birth, karma means activities, cha means end, me means mine, divyam means divine, evam means thus, yah means who, veti means know, tatvatah means in truth, tyaktva means having abandoned, deham means the body, punaha means again, janma means birth, na means never, yeti takes, mam means to me, to yeti means take comes, saha means he, and Arjuna is addressing Arjuna. So here, Acharya in his Bhashya, he explains that he who thus knows truly, that means thus here means as previously explained, where I don't take birth like an ordinary people, okay, ordinary creatures, I incarnate, right? Avatar. So sambhavamyam. So whenever controlling my own maya prakriti, maya rupa, I take, right? So anyone who knows me like that, and anyone who knows that I incarnate, not just take birth, and those who knows this as previously described in the previous 3-4 shlokas, Tattvataha, truly, anyone who knows that truly as they are in reality, that divine supernatural birth, which is Maya Rupam, which is a form of Maya, and the actions are sadhunam paritrana. So, paritranaya sadhunam, as Bhagavan said, and the actions that he takes, such as protection of those sadhus and so on. Anyone who knows that type of birth and the actions of mine in truth, in truly anyone knows that of mine, those actions and birth of mine does not get punarjarma, rebirth. After casting off, after leaving this body, they will not get another birth. He attains, he comes to me, sa muchyate, he gets moksha. So saha muchyate, so he gets moksha. So O Arjuna, such a person gets moksha. So he who does, as in the previously explained, for example, ajopi san avyatma bhutanam ishropi san, and so on in the sixth shloka onwards, right? I am even birthless, and so on. So anyone who knows that the divine, supernatural, impossible of being accomplished by others, this exceptional Ishvara's alone birth, the birth that is simulation of that birth, or sportively taking that birth. Anyone knows that such a birth of mine, whom I am ever perfect, and I am the Satchidananda Gana, I am that excellence, knowledge, and bliss through and through, and the karmas, the actions, the protection of the world by establishing the dharma and so on. Anyone who knows that truly of mine, and who am the ever perfect Ishvara, anyone knows that truly, that is truly means eliminating wrong understanding. So anyone who knows that, so such a persons attain me. Okay, they attain me, and it is the fools who, under the delusion, they think that Bhagavan becomes a human being. They imagine that even Bhagavan's birth consists of actually living in the womb and going through the birth process from a mother and things like that. And his actions are meant certainly for his own enjoyment and things like that. People think like that. Those are the fools who thinks like that. But the one who really knows, they actually know that this is a divine supernatural birth. Means here I'm sportingly taking this birth for protection of establishing this dharma. Anyone who, by eschewing that idea of the food, which is the foolish people have, anyone giving up that such an idea that Bhagavan takes birth in living in the womb, or he takes birth for his own enjoyment and things like that, anyone who gives up that idea through the knowledge of that Bhagavan, such a person knows that even in the case of the birthless one, okay, the one that is the Bhagavan, there is in reality a simulation of birth through Maya. And that even in the case of actionless one, the one who is Nishkriya, such a person also, there is a simulation of action with the purpose of favoring the others. Anyone who knows that, that person, he, as a result of manifestation of his own reality, does not get rebirth after giving up this body. But Arjuna, he comes to me alone. Such a person, after this body, leaving this body, he comes to me alone. Who I am? Bhagavan Vasudeva. I am that Satchidananda Ghana through and through. And that is to say, he attains moksha from this samsara. So again, it has been said here that Mameti so Arjuna, he attains me. So in connection with, Bhagavan shows that he himself is the goal. for everybody, since he is to be attained by those all the liberated souls, all those who are attained mokshas, who are jivan muktas. So it is attained by them. So he should be the goal, and this means that moksha has to come down through begin. This means of moksha has come down from through a beginless tradition. Because if you go back to this beginning of this adhyaya, Bhagavan says that he gave this jnana, right? This karma yoga and jnana yoga. Previously, he gave this, right? From Manu, Ikshvaku, and that's how it all came through. And so Vivaswani, I told, and then Manu, Ikshvaku, and like this, it came through, and he says that, right? Manu, everybody came to know through like that. So that's what he said. So now, this has come through beginless tradition. That's what he says. And this path of moksha has not been opened recently. It is not something new. Okay, the path of moksha that's just said, who knowing that Bhagavan taking birth, simulation of birth, and doing simulation of actions for the purpose of favoring the others. Anyone who knows and attains that Lord was Bhagavan Vasudeva, that is not something new. Okay, it is not something new that has come down from the through a beginless tradition, Sanatana tradition. And so, what then? When did it? How did it come? So, even in the earlier days, Bhagavan says it was there. He says that even in the earlier days, this moksha, attaining moksha, path to attaining moksha was there. So, he says that वीतराग भयक्रोध मन्मया मामुपश्रिताः बहवो ज्ञानतपसा पूता मद्भाव magata. So many who were devoid of attachment, fear, and anger, who were absorbed in me, who had taken refuge in me, and were purified by austerity of knowledge, have attained my state. Vita means free from, raga is attachment, bhaya is fear, krodha is anger, matmaya means completely absorbed in me, mam means in me, upashrita means taking refuge of, bhavaha means of, bhava means many, jnana means of knowledge, tapasa means by the austerity of knowledge, and by the austerity and by that tapas, by the fire of knowledge, and putaha means purified, mat bhavanam, bhavam means my divine love, agataha means attained. So many giving up, many who are devoid of attachment, fear, and anger, vitaraga bhayakrodha. So many who were devoid of this attachment, fear, and anger, who were absorbed in me, Brahmavidha, Ishvara, Veda Darshinaha, who were knower of that Brahma, who were seers of their identity with Bhagavan, who had taken refuge in me, Mamevacha Parameshwaram Upashritaha, who were taken a refuge in me, Parameshwara, the Parameshwara, that is the who were Kevala Jnananishta, who had steadfastness in knowledge alone. Those who were devoid of attachment, who were absorbed in me, who were knower of those Brahman, who were seers of their identity with Bhagavan, and who had taken refuge in me, the Parameshwara, who were Kevala Jnananishta, they were steadfastness in knowledge alone, and were purified, who had been purified, supremely sanctified by the austerity of knowledge, jnana tapasa, jnanamevacha paramatma vishayam tapaha, jnana, knowledge itself about that paramatma being the tapas, being the austerity. Okay, that is jnana tapasa. Jnana tapasa definition is knowledge itself about that supreme reality, that paramatma vishaya, is the tapas. So when they are purified, sanctified by this jnana tapas, becoming sanctified by the austerity of this knowledge, have attained my state, Ishvara Bhavam Moksham. That Ishvara Bhava, that Bhagavanhood, Godhood, or goodhood they have attained, that is the moksha they have attained. They have attained that state. So, itara tapo nirapeksha jnana nishta ityasya lingam jnana tapasa iti visheshanam. So, Acharya here, Bhagavad Pada explains that the particular mention of jnana tapasa, the austerity of knowledge, is to indicate that steadfastness in knowledge does not depend on any other austerities. It does not depend on any other type of tapas. So, jnana tapas is independent, he says that. So, the attachment, the raga here mentioned is the attachment, the hankering for the results and the results for the results that are concerned. Bhayam is the fear in the form of how can, for example, how can one live in the path of knowledge by renouncing everything. And krodha is the anger that consists in the form of how can this path of knowledge, which destroys everything, be beneficial to me, like that. And these vitaraga, bhaya, is the one who are purified, pure-minded persons who have become removed through discriminations of these attachments, fear, anger, and so on. Means those who have directly realized me, the Supreme Self, the Paramatma, through the identification of the import of the word Tat. That means that, and the import of the word do, Tattvam. Okay, so as in the Upanishad Vakya Tattvamasi, they have realized through that identification of those words Tat and Tvam. They have realized that. So that Tat and Tvam, so Tat is Paramatma, Tvam is identifying that oneself with that word, and Asi is actually saying that there is a relationship. So identifying oneself with that. So when they have realized that Tattvamasi, that meaning of that, not just meaning, experiencing that, their identification through that, or this also means that those who have minds entirely fixed on that Bhagavan, means again mam upashritya here means those who have taken refuge in me, in the Ishvara, with absolute love and devotion. So this is vitaraga, bhaya, krodha, and manmaya. So they have taken in this, realized me, and they have taken refuge in me. Many who were purified by the austerity of this knowledge of this austerity of knowledge. So because here again the knowledge of austerity is because it is the cause of dissipation of all the actions. It is the one that ends all the actions. And Bhagavan says again in this fourth chapter, 38th shloka, he says, Nahi jnanena sudarsham pavitram medyate. So indeed, there is nothing purifying here comparable to knowledge. So that's why this jnana tapasa is the one that purifies everything. So by purified by that, who has become freed from all the sins, who are shorn of the impurity of ignorance and its effects, they have attained my state, which is absolute, pure, excellent knowledge, bliss. So through and through, and they have attained that moksha. They have attained moksha through the removal of ignorance alone, through this jnana tapasa. So by becoming purified by the austerity of this knowledge, jnana tapasa, becoming jivan muktas, they attained an affectionate attitude towards me called rati, the love. And because Bhagavan says that in the 7th adhyaya, for example, he says, Tesham jnani nityayukta eka bhaktir viheshyate. So of them, the man of knowledge excels since he is endued with constant steadfastness and one-pointed devotion. So these people who are jivan muktas, they have that affectionate attitude towards me and the love. So they have that towards me. One-pointed devotion towards me, steadfastness and one-pointed devotion to me through that jnana tapasa. So now the Bhagavan starts explains the divine dispensations of worldly benefits and moksha. So he starts explaining in the next set of shlokas. He explains what Bhagavan gives of these worldly benefits, these benefits we see, the samsarika benefits and the moksha. He is the one who gives that. So how he does that, he explains that. Because before we go there, listening to Bhagavan saying that those who have attained this jnana tapasa, attain moksha, then a question might come that is it not that those who are purified by this jnana tapas and are free from desire to attain uh, those people, those who are free from any desire, they attain your state, right? So in this sloka, we looked at that those who are purified by the austerities of this knowledge and who are free from all the desires, they attain that moksha, the state of Bhagavan says that they will attain my state, right? But those who are not purified and those who are full of desire, they do not attain you. It means the other way as well, right? So those who are purified attain means those who are not purified and having desires for the worldly things, they do not attain it. So if that is the case, then you are partiality. There is a partiality from you, and you are pitilessness. That's something that comes that shows here that you are not showing any pity towards these people who are full of desire and not purified, and you are partial to those who are in the jnana tapas mode, right? Those who attain that state, you are very favorable to them, you give them, and others you don't give. So you have love and aversion because you grant state of identity with yourself only to a few, but not to the others. Bhagavan answers that in the next shloka. He says that in the 11th shloka, he says that ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamyaham mama martanu vartante manushyaha partha sarvashah. So according to the manner in which they approach me, I favor them in the very same manner. O Arjuna, human beings follow my path in every way, he says. So ye means who, yatha is in whatever way, mam unto me, prapadyante surrender, tan them, tatha means so, eva means certainly, bhajami means reciprocate, aham means I, mama means my, vartma means path, anuvartante follow, manushya means men, partha is addressing Arjuna, sarvashah means in all aspects. So according to the manner in which that is they approach, according to the manner in which they approach, or the purpose for which they approach, seeking whatever they approach, whatever fruit they wish, with that they approach, right? According to the whatever the fruit they approach, and according to whatever wish they have, with that they approach. So like this different means what according to whatever the manner they approach me, I favor them in the very manner by granting that fruit. That is the idea, because they are not the seekers of moksha. Nahi ekasya mumukshutvam palartitvam cha yugapad bhavan sambhavati. It is certainly impossible for the same person to be a seeker of moksha and at the same time a seeker of rewards for the actions. Okay, so it is impossible. So nahi ekasya mokshutvam palartitvam. So we cannot have a person, same person seeking moksha and also at the same time seeking the worldly benefits for his actions. Therefore, ye palartinaha tan phalapradanena. Therefore, by granting the fruits to those who hanker after the fruits, ye yatokta karanastu apalartinaha mokshatva tan jnana pradanena. So, therefore, by granting fruits to those who are anchoring the fruits, who are hankering after those fruits, and by granting knowledge, yatokta karanastu apalartana moksha vascha tan jnana pradhanena. By granting the knowledge to those who follow what has been said in the Shastras and are the seekers of moksha, but do not hanker after rewards. And ye jnaninaha sanyasana mumuksha vascha tan moksha pradhanena. And by granting moksha to those who are men of wisdom and who are munis aspiring for moksha, and tata arthan artiharanena, and also by removing the miseries of those who suffer. Ittevam yata prapadyante ye tan tadaiva bhajami. So Bhagavan says, in these ways, I favor them just according to the manner in which they approach me. So Acharya says that's the meaning here. So first of all, Acharya here says that those who seek moksha, they cannot be expecting. The same person cannot seek moksha and also seek the rewards for his actions. So that cannot happen. Now, though there are people who are after hankering, who are after results, and for them, Bhagavan says, I grant the fruits of their hankering. Whatever they are wishing, I grant them. And I grant the knowledge to those who follow what is said in the Shastras and are seekers of moksha, but do not hanker after reward. So there are people who do not hanker for results. They follow the Shastras and seeking moksha. For them, I grant the knowledge. Okay, so there is second class. The first one is looking for fruits of the actions. Okay, I want children, I want wealth, I want all that, I want this. Okay, that's that case. The second case is those who follow the Shastra, they want moksha, they do not have any desire for these rewards. For them, Bhagavan says, I grant knowledge. Jnana-Pradhanena, Acharya says. Okay, aphalartinaha mumuksha vascha tan Jnana-Pradhanena. So for them, I give the jnana, knowledge. And then those who are men of wisdom, those who have knowledge and are munis aspiring for moksha, again, just getting jnana is not sufficient. Those who are munis are like those who are doing manana. So they are continuously in that thought. Okay. So we see yogi, muni, rishi and things like that. So this is a different stages. Yogi is one who is practicing. Okay, he's not reached. Muni is the second stage. He is in that deep meditation. He is that manana, repeatedly in that same thoughts. And Rishi is the one who has attained that stage. Anyway, so here, those munis who are aspiring for that moksha, okay, they have this understanding. They have given up their hankering for the rewards. For them, I grant moksha. And those who are suffering, I remove their miseries. Okay. Arthan, artiharanena. So by removing their sufferings, so in these ways, I favor them just according to the manner in which they approach me. This is what Bhagavan is saying. On the other hand, Acharya here says, Ragadvesha nimittam, moha nimittam va kanchit bhajami. I do not favor anybody out of love or aversion or out of delusion. So in the previous shloka, there was an objection raised saying that you favor those who are jnana tapasis, or in jnana tapas, right? So you favor them. So Bhagavan Acharya here says that by this shloka, Bhagavan clearly says that ragadvesha nimittam, moha nimittam va kanchit bhajami. So I do not favor anybody out of love or aversion or out of delusion, moha. So I don't do any of that. I give what they want. That's what Bhagavan says. Okay. So according to the manner with desire or without desire in which they, that means those who are afflicted, those who are seeker of the knowledge, those who are seeker of the wealth, and the man of the knowledge, they approach, they adore me, the Ishvara, the giver of all the fruits. they approach me, I favor them in the very that manner, certainly by giving them the fruits of the desired fruits as desired by them and not otherwise. If you are saying that I favor those afflicted, I favor that afflicted and seekers of wealth who do not aspire for moksha by removing their afflictions and bestowing them wealth. So, if what it is saying is, I give those who seek wealth, those who are in afflicted, I remove their affliction and I give them the wealth. By granting the knowledge, I favor the seekers of the knowledge who perform selfless action, as said in the Shrutis. Say, for example, in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it says, Tametam Vedānuvachanena Brahmana Vividishanti Yajnena Dhanena Tapasa Nashakena. Right? The Brahmanas seek to know that Bhagavan through sacrifices, dana, tapas, and so on, like this Upanishad says. So, anybody, I grant such people the knowledge who are seekers of knowledge, who perform selfless action as said in the Shrutis, whether it is yajna, dana, tapas, and things like that. For them, I grant knowledge. And by granting moksha to its seekers, who are the men of knowledge, but I do not grant something else to one who wants some other things. Bhagavan, that's the meaning here. So, is it that even so you give fruits only to those who are devoted to you, but not to those who are devoted to other devatas? That's also a partiality, right? So the question might come here now. So previously we said, okay, you are very favorable to those who are jnana tapas, but Bhagavan says that I give whatever you ask, right? So that's the first half of this shloka here. So now the question is, if that is the case, you give only to people who come to you, but those who are worshiping other devatas, you are not giving them anything. That's also, if you are the Paramatma, you should be not making any such favorable thing saying that I give to this person and not to this, right? So that partiality still exists. That's my complaint now, right? For that, Bhagavan says that under all circumstances, O Arjuna, sarvadhapi sarvavastasya mama ishwarasya vartma margam anuvartante manushyaha. He says that under all circumstances, human beings follow in every way my path. That is the path that is characterized by karma and jnana. So karma is by rights and duties. Okay, the path of Ishvara, whom I am omnipresent. So that path they follow. Sarvavastasya mama Ishvarasya vartma margam anuvartante manushyaha. So they follow, even if they are following. So by human being, again here Bhagavan says manushya, by human being are meant that yatphalartya taya yasmin karmani adhikritaha ye prayatante te manushyaha. Those people, by human beings here meant that those human beings who become engaged in their respective duties to which they are qualified according to the results they seek. They are qualified, they have to be qualified, okay, to perform those duties. Those who are engaged in those things and the results they are seeking. For them, they all, in every way, they are following my path only. So Bhagavan here again saying, Arjuna, don't think that if other devatas worship, I'm not giving anything, because the manushyas, the human beings, that is those who are eligible for karmas, rights and duties, follow my path. That is the path of Vasudeva, who is the Atma of all. That path, my path, the path of spiritual practice characterized by the karma and jnana, in every way, even while worshipping Indra and others, they follow my path. As long as they follow in the Shastras. right? So this is what's said in the Rigveda mantra as well, where it said, Indram Mitram Varunam Agnim Ahur Ato Divyaha Sa Supurno Gurutman Ekam Sadvipra Bahuda Vadantya Agnim Yamam Matarishwanaham Ahuhu. They call him Indra, Mitra, Varuna, Agni, and so on. But it's all same. Okay. So that's Ekam Sadvipra Bahuda Vadantya. So it's all same, only one. Okay. But we pras call it Bahud, many different forms. So, and also there is in Brahma Sutra, there is a sutra named Palamadha Upapattehe. So the fruit of the action is from him, the Bhagavan. This being the logical position, that is the sutra. So that means the bestower of fruits, though through every manifestation of whatever, is certainly this Ishvara alone, this Paramatma alone. That is the meaning here. Okay, whether it be Indra or whoever is worshipped as per the rules, as per the Shastras, it is worshipped. They all follow my path only. That's what Bhagavan says. And I am the giver of the results. And Bhagavan also says in the 9th chapter, for example, he says, Yepyanya devata bhaktya yanjate shraddhayanvita te api mameva kaunteya yajantya vidhi purvakam. So even devotees of other devatas, they are worshipping me, like this Bhagavan says. Okay, so in the 9th chapter. So that means anyone following the Shastras properly and worshipping that, they worship, even if they are worshipping Indra and others, they are worshipping Bhagavan only. So that means Bhagavan is the one who is the giving, Paramatma is the one, Krishna is the one who is giving that results. So then the question is, why is it that all people do not adore you only, who is the Bhagavan Vasudeva? Why not people just worship you? If your wish to be favorable is the same towards all the creatures, on account of being absence of defects of love and aversion in you, and because you are the Ishvara, and you are there with their capacity to grant all the rewards, then why then do not all, that is becoming desirous of moksha, they take refuge in you alone with the knowledge that Vasudeva is everything? Why don't people take refuge in you alone? Why they go to Agni or Indra or other devatas? Why they go to that? That's the question that comes, and Bhagavan answers that in the next shloka. He says that Kankshantah karmana siddhim yajantah iha devatah kshipram he manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. Longing for fruition of actions of their rights and duties, they worship devatas here, because in the human world, success from actions comes quickly. Kankshantah means desiring, karmana material activities, siddhim success, yajante worship, iha in this world, devatas the devatas, kshipram quickly, he means certainly, manushya means in the human society, loke within this world, siddhi means rewarding, bhavati manifest, karmaja means from the material activities. So Bhagavan here says that longing for fruition or praying for those fruition or fruitification of those results of the actions, they worship here in this world the devatas, Indra, Agni and others, which accords to the, again as per the Upanishad saying, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, Atha yo anyam devatam upaste anyo savanyoha masmiti sa asmiti na saha veda yata pashurevam sa devanam. So Upanishad, that Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says that while he worships another devata, thinking he is one, I am another, does not know. He is like an animal to those devatas. So that means here again, when one is longing for the fruitification of the results of actions, they worship in this world the devatas, Indra, Agni, and others. They do not know. Okay, they do not know. The text here points out that the reason for adoring other deities is ignorance of Atma, which gives rise to the ideas of difference between the worshipped and the worshipper. As animals are beneficial to human beings, so also sacrifices to the devatas, because through oblations he works for their pleasure. Okay, so that's what Acharya is. That's why Acharya is quoting here the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, saying that for him, while the worshipper, another devata, thinking that that is Bhagavan, he is one and I am different from him. When he worships like that, he is like an animal to the devatas, just like animals to human beings to help their, and he is like that to devatas. So, on account of being obstructed by ignorance, they, that means those who are longing for the success or fruition of their results of actions here in this world, worship the devatas, Indra, Agni, and so on, but not me, Vasudeva, by giving up the selfish motives. That is the meaning here. Why they do that? Bhagavan says that because in the case of those, that is, who sacrifice to other devatas and who long for those results, who expect those results, hanker for those results, success from action comes quickly in the human world, because the authorities of Shastras extend only over human world. So Acharya says, Manushya lokehi Shastradikaraha. So in the human world only this Shastra's authority extends, and that's why the results come here quickly. In the human world, the success from the actions, results accruing from those actions, comes very quickly to those who worship Indra, Agni, and other devatas with the desire for results. However, the result of knowledge does not come quickly, depending as it does on the purification of our heart, because that result of knowledge, uh, that comes only by purification of heart. And by specific statement here, Bhagavan, Kshipram hi manushe loke, for the human world, the success comes quickly. The Bhagavan says that anneshvapi karma palasiddhim darshayati. Results of action can accrue even in the other worlds. So the difference is that manushe loke varnashramadi karmani iti visheshaha. In the difference is to other world and here is, in the human world, eligibility for actions is according to the varnashrama of ones. Varnashramadhyadhikari karmanam palasiddhi kshipram bhavati. The results, the fruition of those results of those actions of the persons who are eligible according to the varnashrama of the life comes quickly. According to their varnashrama, it comes quickly. So the difference when it says Chipram Manusha Loke means in the human world also the results come, and that means here comes quickly. Sorry, here in the Manusha Loka, in human world, it comes very quickly, but in others, that means it also comes in other worlds. The difference is here when one performs according to one's varnashrama, the actions, the results come very quickly. That's what Bhagavan means. Since the people are ours to moksha, worship of other devatas with selfish motives for the attainment of the correlated petty results, therefore, they, unlike the seekers of moksha, do not directly worship me, Vasudeva. I am the Vasudeva, and they do not worship me because they are looking for quick results. quick outcomes, and that's why they do not worship me directly. And Bhagavan next explains that Varna, Varna in the Varnas and Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, that's a divinely ordered human institution. He explains that in the next set of shlokas as a divinely ordered human institution. He says now, because a question here might come saying, what is the reason for the rule that competence of rights and duties according to the Varnashramas obtains only in the human world but not in the other world? Or it has been said that Varnashramadi pravi-bhagopetaha manushyah mamovartna anuvartante sarvashah. Human beings having such division as Varnashramas and so on follow my path in every way. That's what said as part of this shloka. Now the question is, for what reason again do they as a rule follow your path alone but not the others? Bhagavan here again says that you are not of the same temperament on account of difference in the gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, and so on, which constitutes their bodies. And the question to that, why again they follow your path alone, but not others, and this why they obtain the results, why, what is the reason for the rule that the competence of the rights and duties according to the Varnashramas obtain only in the human world and so on. Those questions are asked, and Bhagavan explains that in the next set of shlokas, in the 13th shloka, where he says Chaturvarna Maya Srishta Guna Karmadi Bhagasha and so on. We will look at that next time together.